Terence "Bud" Crawford won't go to jail for dispute.
Omaha police launched an internal affairs investigation after a traffic stop involving Omaha native Terence "Bud" Crawford.
Celebrated hometown boxing champ Bud Crawford's accomplishments with a parade. He's pulled over by Omaha police, setting off a social media firestorm.
Seatbelt.
Seatbelt, step out.
I'm
opening the door.
You can take
I'm
mine
opening
off
the door.
of me right here on my right. I'm keeping my fucking hands up.
I'm not reaching for no gun,
bro.
Step out. Can I move my phone? Step out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Newly leaked footage capturing Terence Crawford's tense clash with police has left fans in disbelief. Only weeks earlier, the undefeated champion was riding high after the biggest victory of his career. But instead of celebrating, he was suddenly thrust into a heated gunpoint standoff and encounter now exposed to the world on video.
Is all that serious? You actually reach for one gun? Is all that necessary? You serious? Yeah, dude. Is he serious?
Make sure to hit like and subscribe, because this one gets intense. As we unpack every turn of this incredible story, ask yourself, how did a night meant to celebrate Omaha's hometown hero twist into flashing lights, drawn guns, and a police report so shocking that even the mayor demanded answers? This isn't a typical celebrity controversy. It's a look at how quickly victory can turn into chaos, and how a single viral moment can eclipse an entire legacy. September 28th was meant to be a historic day for Omaha, Nebraska. The city held a parade to honor Terence "Bud" Crawford, the man who stunned the world by defeating Canelo Alvarez. But this wasn't just about a boxing victory, it was about cementing a legacy. The streets were packed with fans, coaches, and fellow athletes praised Crawford as one of the sport's greats. And even Eminem joined in with a congratulatory video calling him the GOAT.
Bud, what up, champ? Congratulations, man. You did it. I'm so proud of you. You used all my tricks to beat Canelo, just like I showed you. You went in there and you got it done. Unbelievable, bro. All jokes aside, fucking GOAT shit, man. Congratulations, champ. So well deserved. Salute.
For Crawford, it felt like pure vindication. He had silenced his critics, beaten the odds, and brought pride home to Omaha. Standing before fans and reporters, he vowed to enjoy the night, celebrate hard, and savor every bit of the moment. But only a few hours later, the joy of the parade and the triumph of his victory were overtaken by the glare of red and blue lights on a dark Omaha street. What began as a night of celebration quickly descended into something far more troubling.
It's like upside down.
By early Sunday morning, Crawford's name was trending for a very different reason. A Facebook user named Dre Jimmy had posted a video that exploded online almost instantly. Instead of a champion soaking in praise, the clip showed Crawford in the driver's seat of his car, locked in an intense confrontation with police. The footage is startling. An officer, gun drawn, aims directly at Crawford while ordering him to step out of the vehicle. You can hear the strain in Crawford's voice as he calls out, "I'm not reaching for no gun, bro." His hands are clearly visible, his tone a mix of fear and frustration. Moments later, he exits the car, the camera capturing a tense standoff unfolding in real time. Within hours, the video had swept across every platform. Fans who had celebrated him at the parade now watched in shock as their hometown hero faced down the barrel of a gun.
From an incident early this morning surrounding Terence "Bud" Crawford and his security team, it escalated to a point where guns were drawn by police.
And the question on everyone's mind was the same. What could have triggered such a dangerous encounter? By Sunday afternoon, the Omaha Police Department released a formal statement confirming what millions had already seen circulating online. This wasn't a random stop. Police said the incident began when officers observed a vehicle driving recklessly. The driver was identified as Terence Crawford, with 3 passengers in the car. But what escalated things, according to the department, was the sight of a firearm on the driver's side floorboard. Citing safety concerns, officers ordered everyone out of the vehicle at gunpoint. They also noted that one passenger part of Crawford's security team was carrying a firearm legally. In fact, all 4 occupants were licensed to carry. Still, the image of Omaha's biggest star, fresh off a celebratory parade, being pulled from his car at gunpoint was impossible for the public to look past.
For staff, Tom Warren both reached out to Mr. Crawford, and he indicated that he would like us to do an investigation.
The incident left fans shaken, officials on edge, and even the mayor calling for a full and transparent investigation. Permits or no permits, the standoff rattled the entire city. As the video continued to surge across social media, Omaha's leaders realized they couldn't remain quiet. Mayor John Ewing released a statement almost immediately, and his words echoed what the whole community was feeling. He admitted that his heart sank when he heard that a night meant for celebration had ended in flashing lights, fear, and confusion for a city that had just united to honor its champion. This was the last image anyone expected or wanted to see.
Crawford to exit the vehicle, and he did, and then Mr. Crawford was placed in handcuffs while they conducted their investigation.
Ewing stressed how crucial the trust between law enforcement and the community truly is, especially in a city where Crawford stands as both a hometown hero and a role model. He vowed full transparency, assuring the public that what happened that night would not be ignored or quietly swept away. At the same time, Police Chief Todd Schmaderer announced that an internal investigation was already underway. He acknowledged the gravity of the situation and promised that every aspect of the stop, from the officers' decisions to the final outcome, would be examined closely. At this point, the story was no longer just about Crawford. It had become a test of Omaha's relationship with its police force, and the stakes couldn't have been higher.
Cop comes to my window, cop goes to Bud's window. I know the protocol. No, I don't have it on me. I left everything at home. He had already told them, so there was no reason for him to reach for nothing.
As city leaders called for answers, the internet had already erupted into debate. By the next morning, Crawford's name dominated Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The leaked video was being analyzed frame by frame, and fans who had been celebrating his victory just hours earlier were now stunned as they watched their champion held at gunpoint in his own hometown. Outrage spread fast. Many questioned whether the stop had been handled appropriately, noting that Crawford repeatedly stated he wasn't reaching for a weapon. Supporters wanted to know why Omaha's hero was treated like a threat instead of a celebrated figure returning home. But the conversation wasn't one-sided. Others defended the officers, arguing that once a firearm was seen on the floorboard, protocol required a heightened response. To them, this wasn't about celebrity status, it was about safety. Still, the image of a world champion boxer standing with his hands raised while an officer aimed a gun at him was impossible to shake. The footage became more than a viral clip. It became a flashpoint for discussions about policing, fame, and the thin line between respect and suspicion.
It's crazy because it's funny because when I was with Top Rank, a lot of people was always saying, man, he's broke, he's this and that and that and this. And I was getting paid good money. But I'm like, man, I don't have to box. Like, I can retire.
That's a flag.
Y'all box because y'all have to. I box because I love it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Crawford had his own message for both critics and fans. In the days following the incident, he refused to stay silent, using the spotlight to address not only the police encounter, but also how he's been perceived over the course of his career. On Cam Newton's *4 and One* podcast, Crawford spoke candidly about his legacy. "I don't have to box. I box because I love it," he said, responding to critics who claimed he only fought Canelo Alvarez for money. For Crawford, the victory wasn't about a paycheck, it was about securing his place in history. He also acknowledged that full recognition might not come until after he retires, but that hasn't changed his passion or commitment to the sport.
He's just boxing because he won a bag. I'm like, bro, listen, I don't got to box. The bag, yeah, that's definitely, tasty, but at the same time, beating Canelo is going to be worth more than the bag, at the end of the day, because I'm going to be talked about. 100 years They're gonna be like, man, you remember that kid from Omaha, Nebraska?
I'm never really going to get my full respect until after retirement, Crawford admitted, frustrated by how people continue to twist the narrative around his accomplishments. Defeating Canelo, one of boxing's biggest icons, should have silenced any doubts. Yet detractors still tried to downplay it, claiming Canelo was past his prime or unmotivated. Crawford remained unfazed. For him, legacy matters far more than money, and no amount of criticism could diminish the achievements he's worked a lifetime to earn. He wasn't alone in defending his triumph. The boxing world quickly rallied around him, with everyone from celebrities to coaches weighing in, commenting not only on his monumental victory, but also on the chaos that followed it.
What up, champ? Congratulations, man. You did it. I'm so proud of you. You used all my tricks to beat Canelo.
Even Eminem joined the chorus of praise, sending a video message that quickly went viral. In his unmistakable style, he congratulated Crawford, calling him the GOAT and lauding his masterful performance against Canelo. For fans, it was a surreal moment, one of music's biggest legends honoring one of boxing's greatest champions.
Stop him the second time. I think we can stop him the second time. I think it'll be worse. I think it'll be worse because honestly, I don't feel like a sharp Bud Crawford. I don't think Canelo can hurt him. Them guys, they didn't have the IQ that Crawford has, you know. So maybe they didn't see those punches coming, but Crawford got everything ahead of him. He's 2 steps ahead of him, as you could see. None of the shit he was doing that he normally do work. Nothing. None that he normally do work.
Inside Crawford's camp, his coach Bernie Davis took things even further, confidently predicting that Crawford would stop Canelo in a potential rematch. Davis insisted the first fight was only the beginning and asserted that no matter how hard Canelo tried, he couldn't harm Crawford.
Look, I think what we shouldn't be saying is Canelo's old, Canelo's shot, because you've got to give the credit to Crawford. Yeah. But Canelo's nowhere near the fighter he once was. And I'm talking about particularly maybe around Golovkin 1 and that kind of time. I mean, you know, I feel like, you know, when I watch the Skull fight, and I just, you know, a certain style is not good for Canelo.
On the business side, promoter Eddie Hearn offered a blunt take. He doubted that Canelo would even agree to a rematch, seeing Crawford as too challenging a fighter to smart, too skilled, and ultimately a nightmare to face in the ring.
Paying the money at the end of the day, so fuck, let's go to war. Let's do what these people want us to see us do, and let's go to war, and may the best man win.
Meanwhile, David Benavidez brushed off the idea of facing Crawford at 168 pounds, saying his focus was on the light heavyweight division. Still, his remarks underscored Crawford's growing influence. He had become a fighter everyone had to account for, even in weight classes above his own.
Boxing, you know, everybody got their own opinion. So, what's yours? My opinion is I like who I like. You know, I like Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather, Renell Whitaker.
Finally, rising star Jiren Boots Andes gave Crawford his due, calling the victory over Canelo historic and a landmark moment for boxing. From seasoned veterans to emerging fighters, the respect for Crawford was clear. Yet while the boxing world debated his legacy, the Omaha incident continues to raise questions. What started as a flawless day of triumph for Terence "Bud" Crawford ended with flashing lights, tense exchanges, and the barrel of a gun. His parade, his victory, and even the admiration of his peers were overshadowed by a single viral clip, showing just how quickly a hero's story can take an unexpected turn. Now fans are left asking, was this an overreaction by police, or standard procedure when a firearm is spotted? Will the internal investigation provide clarity, or deepen the divide between law enforcement and the community? And most importantly, what does this mean for Crawford's future both in and out of the ring? One thing is certain, the story of Terence "Bud" Crawford is far from over. Alright, guys, for the best updates on boxing news, moments, events, and actions, subscribe to Knockout Updates and turn on notifications to never miss out on quality content. And check out our other videos. Until next time, peace out.